my peepers, welcome to Flosstube number 110. We have whips and new starts. So I'm going to show you what I worked on this past week and what I will be working on next week. I do have some Flosstube shout outs. I do have to write one more down. Okay, I'm good. So let's get started. So this week's whip for the week to stitch on was HAED Kitty Heaven by Amy Stewart. It is this. I am doing it on 25 count Lugana that's gridded. And I got in quite a few stitches, but it's really confetti heavy. So not as many as I would like. But yeah, tons of confetti. But you can see the shelves and the fabric and all that stuff in there. And yes, I do some parking. I don't like doing a lot of parking, but I do some. Yep. So this was a stitch along that Jen's World of Stitches was doing. Put this away. It was zipping up before. Now it doesn't want. Now it's caught on the plastic bag. I don't know why it was in here before without, oh, that's why. It's, the fabric got bunched up. Okay. Now we're good. Maybe. Okay. Monday, I went to start Hinzite's Christmas. The fabric wasn't big enough. I didn't know that. It's been put in a bag since I bought it. I don't know why it's not. So I put that away. And then I pulled out a Mirabilia cherub. Like, yes, I can get to one of these. That fabric wasn't big enough either. So I went to the next thing on the list, not realizing it was for this coming week. But I did start it. Next, I started it instead, and it's Barbara Anna Designs. It's Spooky Tree. I was working on the hat because I started in the center. And this is on a 28 count linen by DMC. So that I got the hat done. But that's okay because it was just a start. Because you know this year is start it all. Start all the things. I will have probably 300 whips by the end of this year. And that's okay because the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to finish as many as we can. I also have a Zoom for New Year's Eve day. Starting from the time I get up till I go to bed, we start a new project every hour on the hour. And so if you want, you can put in a couple of stitches beforehand. So when you pick it up, you have a whole hour to stitch on it. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. And if you don't want to start anything new, that's fine. Pull out a whip. Pull out as many whips as you think you can work on, how many hours you'll be up. Just pull out whips, work on your whips. Put in an hour on it. Then pull out another whip. So, it's just a way to get something started or to work on whips you already did start. And that's on New Year's Eve day. Next was Miss Spider. Nope, that's not it. It was next to it. Miss Spider by Nora Corbett. It has all black, and then you have different shades of DMC here. And there is, I believe, is there some Krynic and some beads? There's some beads. There's no Krynic. But that's what she's going to look like. I am doing mine on a mint green. It's a 28 count Jubilee is the fabric, and it's mint green. It's an even weave, and that's what I have done on it so far. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I love the fabric. The color of it looks good with it. And this is just in a couple hours. So, you know, if it was pulled out as a whip for a week, I could get a lot done. Yep. Miss Spider. Then Wednesday, it was the last time working out of a Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue for the year. Unless the wheel lands on a whip for it. But we ended up starting Nobody is Home. Page 30. Nobody is Home. And I thought these were glow in the dark. They're not. But I will make them glow in the dark. I have glow in the dark threads. So I'm going to make the ghost glow in the dark. I'll cross stitch it the way it is, and then I'm going to go over the cross stitches with the glow in the dark thread. Just over the last leg, the top leg of the X. And the green is perfect. So the green I have is this one, and I don't have my paperwork for it, but there's mine. And so I started on the house with all the black. So I can't wait to get back to this, and this will be at the, you know, it's at the bottom of the list, but when I get back to it, it'll be fun. But yep, the little bat. Yeah, I enjoyed this. All black, just stitched on all the black. I did a lot of that this year. I'm going to have to order another cone of black by the end of the year. The cone of doom. Then Thursday's new start was a Mirabilia. It's Princess Elliana that my friend Brian bought me the pattern and the bead packs. And then I bought the fabric that it recommends, so I have that purple. So, yep, I do have the purple. So I started her. Let me see if I can fold this a little bit. So she is started. This calls for some of the newer 1 through 35 colors, and I don't have all of them. So I ran into that problem a lot this weekend. With the newer patterns, they're calling for the newer colors. I don't have them all, so I'm going to have to, I think I'm going to buy like 2 of each. I'm trying to do 2 master sets. One is for all my full coverages, and the other one is for the ones that aren't full coverage. And so, I'm still adding to them. But yeah, this calls for quite a few. Did this one call? Maybe this is the one that called for each. Yeah, this is the one that I have to have 1 through 35. All of them. So I have to have 1 of each. And I only had a couple of them. So I do have to buy that, and then I have to buy another set for my full coverage container. But that is a fun stitch. I love my Mirabilias. Friday was a small kit Friday, and this is just Nan. It's a Glorious Wings collection. This one is called Holly, and I have done a couple of her other ones, but the one thing I like about Just Nan's, and I keep mentioning this, is they already have a card with the floss on it. Yes, Mill Hill needs to do this. It's so much easier than trying to figure out colors, especially when some are so close. So this is how far I got. So there, I stitched with one color of the red, but there's 2 or 3 greens in here, and they are really close. So I was glad. Yeah, there's 2 greens. I was really glad that they had them separated. Although you can tell them apart on here, but it is nice that they're already done. So, yeah. And this has Krynic and beads and a charm, and that's included in the kit.
You've got mail.
Saturday, I'm late. It's a Rodney Matthews from Paine Free Crafts. I started up in the left corner with the greens, and some of these are the new colors I did not have. So I did a little over 300 stitches on this. This is on 28 count Monaco, and yes, I have threads hanging again. But yeah, I got that much done, and it's a heart shape. There's no stitching in here, but I know you can't see. There is some stitches that I think are missing because I don't have those colors. So when I start it back up, I'll just go in and fill it. But yeah, that's how much I got done. And I am liking doing the diagonal. But you know me, in a few months down the road, I'll find a different way to stitch on them so I don't get bored. So that was yesterday, Saturday, during the day. And then last night I started Red Truck at Autumn Forest by Laser Arts Designs. And I'm doing this on a piece of 25 count Mushroom Lagana. I took a shower. I didn't use a blow dryer, so my hair's like wanting to do whatever it wants. So I got in a little over 200 stitches. This one is the one that's missing a lot of stitches in there because it's calling for, this calls for 3 of the new colors, and I don't have them. So when I pull this out again, I will fill in and then start back to where I need to be. But I'm going to fill in with the ones that are missing. But Laser Arts Designs, they are on Etsy. Gorgeous patterns, just gorgeous. So that was started. Where is that? Lady Halloween must have been what I started last Sunday by Jardin Privé. And this is on a piece of 28 count Monaco, I believe. I was going to do 2 over 2, and then I realized it wasn't big enough. So I'm doing 1 over 1. I believe it's 1 over 1. Or is it 2 over 1? Maybe it's 2 over 1. I think it's 2 over 1. Maybe this is, yeah, I think this is 20 count. I think that's why it wasn't going to fit the way I was going to do it, because it's 20 count, not 28. So I couldn't do it 2 over 2, so I'm doing it 2 over 1. And there's only, I think, 3 colors on this. So, yeah. Next year is going to be crazy working on all the whips. Well, not all of them, but quite a few of them. Today's new start, I have not started yet. And it is Mother Moon by Joan Elliott. I saw EJ working on this from Sunshine Stitchers, not last year, I think the year before, and I'm like, oh my God, that is beautiful. I need it. So the only thing is I need some of the number 4 braid. There's a few of them. Yeah, there's 1, 2, there's 3. And then there's some Mill Hill beads. And some French knots. But there's no quarter stitches, so I am going to do mine on perforated paper. It is big enough, because you don't need much of a border like you do fabric. I'm only going to go in and leave one space, so 1 row on the bottom and the top. So it's plenty big enough. I have a lot of this perforated paper. It will be getting used up this year. But yeah, Mother Moon, going to do it on the perforated paper. Then you just find a frame and you stick it in the frame. Or you can put it on a piece of canvas. You can do anything you want to finish it. So that will be today's new start. So this week I used my wheel app to pick one of my whips, and HAED Rapunzel 1. It's a story keep. It's a Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I believe this was a stitch along back in, oh, I don't remember. I have it written down somewhere when I started it, but this was a stitch along years ago before Facebook and all that, and you used to have the forums, and you could go in and, you know, you talked like you do in Facebook. Bulletin boards. And so they had a stitch along page on the bulletin board, so people would do that, and a lot of these were free for stitch alongs. I think they were free. You might have had to pay for the stitch along. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But this was before gridded fabric came out. It is on a piece of 25 count. And I gridded with the red plastic guide. But now I only have it going down vertically. So going across horizontally, I'm using my Friction pen. But that's how much is done. So I have a forehead done. I got an eye started. So yeah, this will be what I am stitching on for the week. 5 days, Monday through Friday, during the day, because at night is the new starts. But this area here, that's called confetti heavy. Yeah. I kept putting off working on it because of this section. But yeah, she got picked for the week. Okay, tomorrow's new start is Madame Fortune by Croquette. A Gogo. And it looks like that. Madame Fortune. I had a piece of fabric left over called A Raging Storm by Silk Weaver. It's 28 count cashel linen. I have enough for like a 1 inch to 2 inch border. So that's what I have. It'll look fine on that. It'll look good. It'll look good. Upside down. So, yeah, that's what I have. I'm going to do this Monday night. So, yeah, that's my new start Monday night. Tuesday night is Fall Books by Laser Arts Designs. And I'm going to be doing this on a piece of 28 count white Monaco. I call it full coverage even though you don't do the back. But there's a lot here. So I consider this a full coverage. It just doesn't have a background. But I can't wait to start this. Isn't that gorgeous with all the pumpkins and the leaves and, of course, the books? Wednesday, I'm getting in a magazine because I have a lot of Stoney Creek and just cross-stitch magazines. I have it all the Halloween. Well, most all the Halloweens. I'm missing a couple. This is all red, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe not. So out of this Stoney Creek, this is summer 2023, and I am doing page 23. Yeah, you say which. You say which. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Look at the purple witch's hat with the sunflower. You got checkerboard. Yes, all of the things. So I have a piece of 28 count Lugana. There is no color name for it. It was just a solo piece by Silk Weaver. And so it says I would need like a 13 by 13 piece, and this is 13 by 18, so it's plenty. But that's what I have. Isn't that pretty? It'll look good on that. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing it on, because this is a grayish blue, so this is perfect. So I told you I'm working on my magazines. So yes, I did say I'm done with my Just Cross Stitch Halloween issues, but then I pulled out some of my other cross stitch magazines, and I'm going to get some stitches in on them. I didn't get the fall one for this year. I'm debating because I have so many magazines I need to stitch out of. So there's that. Then, is it Thursday is Gemini Witches. Look at that. Now, on this one, I think I have to do it a little bit different. I have to look. Okay, so on this, they stitched it on black, and then they stitched that bright pink in the black. I am not doing the bright pink. I am going to leave that opened. I'm going to stitch all the black, and then where this black is, I'm just going to do the outline of that pink, of what would be pink, because I'm not doing that. I'm stitching it on this piece of purple. So where the pink is where the purple will be. And then, so you can differentiate the circle, I will do not a back stitch, but and I'll do it all the way around. Just one stitch all the way around. I think that'll look good. And this fabric is called Frenzy. It's 28 count cashel linen. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Yes. So that's how I plan on doing that. And this pattern is from, let's see if I can find it. The website of the Etsy is RavenStitchCraft. RavenStitchCraft. She also has an Instagram and a website. The website's Raven Coven. But Instagram and Etsy is RavenStitchCraft. It's 147 by 146 stitches. So, yeah. So I needed a piece of like 16 by 16 piece. And I know I measured it and it's good. Because it doesn't say on here what the size is. But yeah, I'm doing it that way. Friday is another small kit. And I'm going to start delivering Easter by Homespun Elegance. It's bits and pieces designed by Sandra Sullivan. And it's on this piece of, it's like an 11 count. What does it say? Well, maybe. Where's the chart? There it is. The stitch count's 50 wide by 36 high. 7 count sand clawstern. So that's what this is. 7 count clawstern. And it uses Weeks Dye Works. But it also has the DMC and the anchor substitute on it. So it tells you what the substitutions are. But yeah, delivering Easter. And it came with buttons. So there's like 2 buttons down here. And then there's a smaller one, oh, for the eye. Yep. So it came with that. Or maybe I had to buy it separate. I don't know. But so that'll be done on that. So that'll probably be like 6 threads over 1. How many threads does it say? Doesn't say. Just says finishing instructions, but it doesn't say how many threads. Just says that when you get to the whiskers, it has a straight stitch of 3 strands. So I'm thinking you use all 6 strands. Use 3 plies of each. Oh, that's for the, yeah, so you're going to use 6 strands, and where you are blending if necessary, because if you don't have the Weeks Dye Works, then you're going to be blending threads, and then you're going to use 3 plies of each. So if you're not going to use the overdyed, you're going to use, actually all of them are blended threads if you don't use the Weeks Dye Works. And then Saturday is HAED Mini Christine. That is by Amy Stewart. It is 325 wide by 259 high. And I am doing it on this fabric here. I think it's 28 count. It might be 25. I am not sure. But that's what I'm doing it on. And I'll measure it again. But yeah, Mini Christine. It's got a lot of burgundy, but I think a lot of black is around the outside. And then Friday night is Daisy Chain, Rosey, Snowy. So I will be stitching on a Rosey. And it's a HAED Quick Stitch Curly Tailed Rosey. Annie Rodrigue is the artwork. And I have a lot done on her. But I can't stop stitching on her because she's so pretty. I have that much done. I'm getting there, you guys. Yep. I have that much done. Isn't she pretty? This is 25 count Lugana. It's gridded, as you can tell. But that's Saturday night. So after dinner, that will get pulled out. And next Sunday's new start is HAED Key of Stars. Yep, HAED Key of Stars. The artwork's by Melissa Dawn. Look at him. He's so cute. Him or her. I don't know, but look at those purples. Oh, baby. Yes. And I have a piece of, I don't know, could be 28 count, could be 25 count. But, yeah, it's white. It's not gridded. I will grid it as I go along. But, yeah. Key of Stars. So pretty. I wonder if that's Krynic. If there's any Krynic down in here. I don't know. It's on Pattern Keeper, so I'm not sure. So that is next Sunday's new start. And next weekend is my readathon weekend, so you won't see me around. I will be getting a lot of stitching and listening to my books. Okay, I have some shout outs of Flosstubers I have been watching. We have Angie, who is Hibernation Stitcher. We have Dizzy Stitcher. I love his whips. He's always got some kind of full coverage going on. Michelle Bendy Stitchy. I watched her. I know one I forgot to write down. Stitching with Jules. I think that's her name. I forgot to write that down. Jules Designs. She has a couple new patterns that she designed. I would love. One's a Frankenstein. One is the Tree of Life, and she has a world tree, but I really like that Tree of Life and the Frankenstein. But I also like that world tree as well. I watched Joan, the Eclectic Stitcher. I met her in the Crafts and Books Zoom. So she does Flosstube. I watch Laura, which is Stitching by the Shore. I also see her in Zooms. And the Steadfast Stitcher. She is the owner of Crafts and Books. And she has the Zooms a couple times a week. And she has the Facebook group. So there is that. And so another thing I wanted to tell you guys, and I forgot. Hold on. I used to be in WIP Warriors. If you remember last year, I did the no new starts. And my friends all had a fit because I couldn't start anything unless I finished something. So this year I did stitch what you want, when you want. But I didn't participate in enough of the events in the group, so I ended up being kicked out pretty much. So last night was a Zoom on questions and answers, and I will be going back in next year now that I know what I didn't do right to stay in the group. So I will be going back into the WIP Warriors because they have yearly challenges, they have monthly challenges. As long as you do one of them and you post every month, you have to post so many stitches every month, which isn't an issue. And if you can't, you just let somebody know that, you know, maybe you were in the hospital or you had a family member who was sick that you were taking care of, or you broke an arm. They said that happened to a couple people. They had to let them know, I can't get in this amount of stitches in right now. So you just let them know, and they put a note by your name. They have a spreadsheet of everybody. So that's how they knew I wasn't putting in the amount of stitches. I wasn't posting to the group because I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyways, I'm in 4 groups that does the acrostics. And they were wondering if maybe they should do acrostics, but everybody's doing them. So I'm in Pop Culture Stitching challenges, and most every month they do an acrostic, and this month the acrostic is sweater weather. So every group is different. Some of them you can only use a letter that begins in the title of the name or the artist or the design. Some of them can have, like, say the letter is D and you don't have a design with that in the title or the designer name, but there's a dog in the pattern. You just tell them dog, you show that, and that counts. You have to, all of them that I'm in, you have to put in 200 stitches for each letter. And if you don't have anything for that letter, you put in 300 stitches. It's called a penalty stitch. Most of us put in that much anyways, so it's not a big deal. And you can use the same project for different letters, but you can't use the same picture. So you'd say you use this for sweater weather, you use the same pattern for both of the W's. You do the W, you show a picture of either your new start, because they all can be new starts or WIPs. You show a picture of where you're starting, and then you put in your 200 stitches or 200 stitches, because you wouldn't do it for, well, yeah, it could be a penalty, but we're talking about the W. Anyways, you have one with the W, like say which. You show a picture of the new start, or if it's a WIP, and then you put in your 200 stitches, and then you take another picture and you post it on one of the W's. When you go to pick it up again, you go to the other W. This is my start picture. You put in 200 stitches. This is my finished picture. That's how you do that on all of them. So, yeah, Pop Culture Stitching Challenges. That one is sweater weather. The hashtag 24HOCS for 24 hours of cross stitch. The word is arbitrary. Craft and Books on Facebook also is starting this month. They started doing challenges. They have an acrostic. It's thankful. And Jen of Cross Stitch Sisters is doing the word November. So I'm doing all 4 of them. I do have an A5 planner that I keep right next to me where I'm stitching. Everything is in there, so I pull it out. Like, I'll pull it out today. I'm doing Mother Moon by Joan Elliott. So I need to find an M, a J, or an E. So an E is in sweater weather. What else we got? We got an M in November. No J. And Elliott is November and, like I said, sweater weather. So there's a couple right there that you can use for that. So I will let you know every time I do Flosstube who's doing acrostics and what they are. You can join. Like I said, WIP Warriors will be opening up theirs in a couple weeks for the new people to join. So I will be joining that again. I always enjoyed being in there. So I just have to remember, I have to post all the time. So, yeah. And like I said, I'm keeping, I have my A5 planner out there where I stitch. I'm going to have one piece of paper that's going to list all the Facebook groups I'm in that does the challenges so that I remember. And some of them do WIP Wednesday, so I'm going to make a notation of who does WIP Wednesday so I know what groups to post in for that as well. Yep. And next year, it won't be as crazy because I won't have all these new starts. I will work on one project for 5 days. Lawn Dog will always be the Sunday of my cross stitch weekend. And since there won't be new starts next year, I will work on it all day on that Sunday. What else is going on? We've always got Rosey. When I finish Rosey, because Rosey is every other week, every other Saturday. So once Rosey is done, I will pull out Snowy and work on him. I think, oh, and then I do the beaded owl. I do the kit. I stitch on it a couple hours, maybe an hour. On Wednesdays, I make 2 videos. I upload them. I schedule them. One's for Wednesday night, one's for Thursday night. One is an ASMR. There's no talking. That's for Wednesday night. And then Thursday, I do a book. I have to record it a different way because when my phone, you know, when your phone shuts off, it stopped. So I think I'm going to record it as a video because a video will keep playing and I don't think the phone will shut off. So I'm going to try that. But yeah, I do have my new planner for next year. I already have an idea how that's being set up. Yeah, next year will be cool. I plan on coloring again on Wednesday afternoons in my Crafty Wednesday Zoom. Diamond painting, I'm going to pick a weekend and work maybe on 1 square on a Friday, 1 square on a Saturday, and 1 square on a Sunday, just so I get some of my diamond painting in. Yeah, this room will get straightened up again once all these WIPs are all organized and everything's organized in here. It was cleaned, but I made a mess this weekend in here. But it'll get cleaned up again. Won't be a big deal. Reading. Getting back into my reading because I miss it. Some months I did great this year. August was awesome. Last month wasn't so great. I really want to listen to more of my books. Mondays is usually TV day. Tomorrow isn't though because I have a blog tour on Tuesday. I have to start that book today. So I'll be listening to it while I stitch today and tomorrow because I got to have it done by tomorrow night to get my blog tour on my blog. But that's it for today. If you know of any other challenges, let me know. I know there is a magazine one, monthly magazine challenge, where you work out of your magazines. I don't even look in that group, and I'm still in it. I think I'm still in it. I may have to start checking into that and pulling out some magazines. You know, I got all these just cross-stitch Halloween. I am in a Halloween stitching challenge group, I think, but I don't know. I haven't paid any attention. I just liked the pictures. So, yeah, and then starting in January, my friends and I and all of you, I will let you know, I have a newsletter, a cross-stitch newsletter that goes out for the people that come to my cross-stitch weekends or that want to know what's going on with stitch-alongs and that. We aren't going to do too many stitch-alongs next year. It's mostly going to be focusing on 3 designers and a theme for the month. If you don't have any of that, just do a theme. You can find something in your pile of WIPs or even a new start. It doesn't matter. And focus on that. And I want to do that like on my cross-stitch weekends. So we'll see how that goes. I do have my wheel app pretty much set up for next year. For my WIPs, I will spin the wheel. That will be WIP from the 1st through the 5th. I'll spin the wheel again for the 6th through the 10th, and so on. So that's how I plan on working on my WIPs next year. Yeah. So I'm going to list below my projects and the shout outs for the Flosstubers that I mentioned. And every week it might be a different Flosstuber that I mention. But I'm always forgetting to tell you guys. So I do have that next to me. That is everything that I can think of that I worked on and that I'm starting. Let me know how your week went. Did you get a lot of stitching time in? And I will see you all in next week's Flosstube. Y'all have a great week. Love you guys. Bye.